are my testimony, oh Lord of mercy. Girl, you are killing me, your body.
Welcome to Radio Guy Online Evening News. My name is Adelaide Ofe Obobisa. In the headlines, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has led a government delegation to the Upper East region to assess the impact of the floods due to torrential rains and spillage of the Bakri and Kopienga dams in Burkina Faso. The Inspector General of Police, James Opon Buanu, has in the last couple of days been assessing the operational preparedness of the regional commands of the service ahead of the 2020 polls, which is about 3 months away. Officials in East Democratic Republic of Congo say 58 people have been killed in 2 attacks. And now to the main story. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has led a government delegation to the Upper East region to assess the impact of the floods due to torrential rains and spillage of the Bakri and Kopienga dams in Burkina Faso. For almost 3 weeks, the region had experienced heavy rains, and the situation had further been compounded by the spillage of the 2 dams, leading to loss of lives and destruction of property, including houses and farmlands. The Kobori Bridge on the White Volta in the Bokuk West District is submerged as a result, creating a large gorge in the boundaries, making it difficult for people and vehicles to cross to either sides of the bridge. The Vice President, who visited the Kobori Bridge on Thursday, described the situation as a disaster and attributed it to the volumes of water spilled from the 2 dams. According to the president, the contractor working on the dam Bogatanga Boko Pomakrom Road had already been informed to quickly assess the situation and fix the gorge at the Kobori Bridge as soon as the water receded. The Vice President, who sympathized with the bereaved families, said government had begun processes to provide relief items for the people. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia described this disaster as a very sad incident, but gave the assurance that government was committed to completing the construction of the Walugu multipurpose dam to serve as a flood control mechanism and prevent the perennial flooding that wreaked havoc each year. Into our second story, the Inspector General of Police, James Opon Buanu, has in the last couple of days been assessing the operational preparedness of the regional commands of the service ahead of the 2020 polls, which is about 3 months away. As a result, he paid a working visit to the Northeast, Upper East, and West regions, where he witnessed some simulation exercises and used the opportunity to speak to various stakeholders on the need to cooperate with the service to ensure peace before, during, and after the polls. The police chief said he was impressed with the display of the officers and men of the service and expressed optimism in their ability to police the ballot boxes properly on election day. He however called on residents to volunteer information to the police to curb crime in the region, which is relatively peaceful, but underscored the significance of professional policing. And to our third story, over 300 assembly members in Ashanti region have endorsed the NDC's 2020 manifesto, which promises to pay monthly salary to elected members across the country. According to the elected assembly members, payment of monthly allowances to them will deal with corruption in the local government system and also promote check and balance and proper accountability without fear or favor. The assembly members, while addressing a news conference in response to the NDC's manifesto, dubbed the People's Manifesto in Kumasi, disclosed that majority of their members have aligned themselves to district chief executives and technocrats for survival. Assembly member for Asempanaye electoral area, Emmanuel Kobi Tumfuo, while addressing the media, said the NDC's manifesto is full of hope to address the major challenges facing assembly members across the country. Emmanuel Kobi Tumfuo, however, urged his colleague assembly members in the region to ensure the electoral area electorate vote for the John and Janet tickets to govern the country for their collective good. The assembly member again welcomed the promise of the party to increase the district assembly's common fund if elected from 5 to 7.5% if they win the election. And to our fourth story, the Ghana National Association of Private Schools has welcomed the decision by the opposition National Democratic Congress to expand the free senior high school policy to private schools. Public Relations Officer of GNAPS, Naftali A. Bafor, said the policy, which was captured in the manifesto of the NDC, is sound and the right way to go. The NDC has promised to expand the reach of the free senior high school program to private schools if it secures victory in the upcoming general elections. The running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, revealed that the second cycle schools in the private sector also need to be roped into the initiative. The new NDC government said she will broaden the scope for students of private schools, especially around hard-to-reach communities. Reacting to this, Mr. Naftali A.H.A. Bafor said it was important for the current government to have partnered with private schools to run the program instead of rolling out the double-track system. He said it was the expectation of the private schools for the government to have paid the same fees it was paying for students in public schools, but they refused. Meanwhile, he has also appealed to all other political parties to capture this in their manifestos. And to our fifth story, the Ghana Center for Democratic Development says it will assess the manifestos of both the New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress. This, according to the center, is to enable the public to compare and contrast the promises of the two major political parties. Ghanaians' two major political parties have recently released their manifestos ahead of the 2020 polls. In July, CDD Ghana launched its Ghana Manifesto project to enhance the development of manifestos and policies by political parties through the use of credible data and evidence. It is a compilation of issues and evidence in 10 key sectors spanning governance and public administration, health, social services, economy, and infrastructure. The project seeks to build trust, responsiveness, and accountability in the manifesto development process to improve popular participation in its development. CDD Ghana is an independent, non-governmental, and non-profit research and advocacy institute dedicated to the promotion of democracy, good governance, and economic openness in Ghana and throughout Africa. And to international news, officials in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo say 58 people have been killed in 2 attacks. A rebel called the Allied Democratic Forces is suspected of being behind the violence. It has killed hundreds of civilians in recent months. 17 people are also missing, and and are thought to have been kidnapped by the group. Officials in Ituri province say the attacks happened because the ADF rebels are under pressure from the Congolese military in neighboring North Kivu province. But that will be of little comfort to the villages that have been left so vulnerable since the army went on the offensive against the rebels late last year. The fact that the same community of Irumu was attacked on Tuesday and Thursday points to the lack of protection for civilians. The ADF is one of the dozens of armed groups causing havoc in eastern Congo. On Friday, the country's defense minister and other government officials are due in Ituri to focus on the complex security challenges. The state presence in the region is weak, and the UN keeping force, costing $1 billion a year, has also been unable to stop the killings. And to sports, Serena Williams' latest bid for a 24th Grand Slam singles title ended as Victoria Azarenka rolled back the years to reach the US Open final. Williams, speaking to equal the all-time record for majors, raced away with the first set but lost 1-6, 6-3, 6-3 to the inspired former world number one. The American called on the trainer for an Achilles problem early in the third set and struggled physically from them. Belarusian Azarenka faces Japan's 2018 champion Naomi Osaka in the final. Two-time Australian Open champion Azarenka had been appearing in her first Grand Slam semi-final since 2013 after troubled times on and off the court. But she has been in fantastic form in recent weeks, having now won 11 matches in a row after victory in the Western and Southern Open just before the US Open. And now to entertainment. Ghanaian dancehall and Afrobeat artist Stonebwoy has been appointed as an ambassador for Techno Mobile. The announcement was made on Thursday, September 10, 2020, at the Transsion Holdings HQ in Accra. Stonebwoy is now the official brand ambassador for Common 16 series, a smartphone model manufactured by a Chinese mobile phone company based in Shenzhen, Techno Mobile. Popularly known as Stonebwoy, the musician will be involved in increasing brand awareness and sales by promoting the products through various media channels. He will embody the corporate identity in appearance, demeanor, values, and ethics. The Africa Dance Hall King will also educate customers, retailers, and distributors about smartphones, creating a website or social media content in order to drive brand awareness and attract new customers. This will be a landmark deal for Stonebwoy, who is set to initiate the second phase of promoting his globally acclaimed album, Aloga Junction. And this ends Radio Guy Online Evening News. But before we leave, a recap of the headlines. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has led a government delegation to the Upper East region to assess the impact of the floods due to torrential rains and spillage of the Bagre and Kobienga dams in Burkina Faso. The Inspector General of Police, James Opon Bueno, has in the last couple of days been assessing the operational preparedness of the regional commands of the service ahead of the 2020 polls, which is about 3 months away. Officials in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo say 58 people have been killed in 2 attacks. My name is Adelaide Ofer Obobisa. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of our programs.